Hello, dear DSC candidates. Welcome back to my Grammar for Success channel. I am Koresh Babu, a retired lecturer in English from Hyderabad. In today's video, I am going to teach you about one of the most celebrated poems of P.B. Shelley, that is The Cloud. So, I request all of you to watch this video till the end without skipping it in the middle. I also request all of you to consider subscribing to my channel and also sharing this video with all your friends who are also going to take the DSC examination along with you. Thank you so much. Now let's get into the video. The Cloud, written by P.B. Shelley. His full name is Percy Bysshe Shelley. Okay, right. And before I teach you this poem, I would like to tell you a few very important points about the poet P.B. Shelley, and thereafter a few very important points about the poem The Cloud. So these are just the introductory points. If you can understand the introduction thoroughly well, you can understand the poem thoroughly well. So that is why I am giving you some important introductory points here. Please pay a very good attention to all of them. Right. And key points about P.B. Shelley. Okay. And one test also I am going to conduct on P.B. Shelley. Therefore, I request all of you to listen to the key points about P.B. Shelley. Right. And here, this Shelley was born on August 4, 1792 into a wealthy family in Horsham, Sussex, England. So this is about his birth. Okay, his birth details are given in this first point. So he was born on August 4, 1792. One point, he was born in a wealthy family. The second point, he was born in Horsham, that is located in Sussex, and that is located in England. So this is all about his birth details. Okay, and you go to the next point. He was a renowned English romantic poet. So he was a renowned means a well-known English romantic poet. Romantic poet means what? So a poet who belongs to romantic movement. Okay, romantic movement that flourished in the late 18th and in the early 19th century. Romantic movement is a very big literary movement that flourished in the late 18th and in the early 19th centuries, and the poets of this movement gave top priority to nature, emotion, individuality, imagination, etc. And that is why here this P.B. Shelley belonged to this romantic movement. He was one of the great pioneers of this movement, and therefore he was called a renowned English romantic poet. That point is clear. And now next point about him is he was famous for his lyrical and passionate poetry. So lyrical means metrical. The poetry written according to the meters is called lyrical poetry or metrical poetry. And in other words, we can say sweet poetry, melodious poetry, and passionate poetry is also there. Lyrical poetry means you have now understood that. Passionate poetry means the poetry filled with intense feelings. Okay, the poetry filled with intense feelings is called passionate poetry. And as is radical political views. He was famous for three things. He was famous for lyrical poetry, he was famous for passionate poetry, he was also famous for radical political views. Radical means extremist political views. He had all extremist political views. So for these three things now he was very famous. So this is also at another very important point about P.B. Shelley. Okay, and you go to the next one. His rebellious nature and atheistic views. Okay, you try to understand these two words. Okay, rebellious means defiant or disobedient. Okay, refractory, eduru tirigedi. Okay, that kind of nature is called rebellious nature. And Atheistic views. Atheistic means what? Having feelings of non-existence of God or non-belief of God. So that kind of non-belief of God feelings are called atheistic views or atheistic feelings. So here his rebellious nature and aesthetic views led to his expulsion. He was expelled or suspended from where? From Oxford University after he co-authored. Co-authored means writing something with another person. That is called co-authoring. You are writing, another person is also writing. When two persons write one article, that is called co-authored. Okay, it's a pamphlet. He co-authored a pamphlet titled, what is the title of that pamphlet? The Necessity of Atheism. The necessity means the need of atheism. Atheism means so the belief in the non-existence of God. Okay, non-existent, there is no God at all, that is the feeling. So that belief is called atheism. So these are the very important points about P.B. Shelley. A few more are also there. Let us learn about them too. Okay, due to his radical views about this phrase I have already explained to you. Radical views means extremist feelings, extremist ideas are called radical views. And personal scandals. Personal scandals. Scandals means acts of disgrace, acts of insult or something like that. So they are called personal scandals. Shelley spent most of his life in self-imposed exile in Italy. So self-imposed means voluntary, imposed by himself. Nobody imposed on him, but he imposed himself on him this exile. Exile means banishment. Okay, not moving in the society. Okay, staying away from society is called exile, banishment, bahishkarana, sangha bahishkarana, desha bahishkarana, something like that. Exile. So self-imposed means voluntary banishment in Italy. So most of his life he spent in Italy. That point you can understand from this. And the next point about him is Shelley's early works include, okay, his early works are like this. Very important works only I have mentioned here. The Gothic novel Justruzi. So it's a Gothic novel. Gothic means this Gothic novel is characterized by remote and desolate settings. Remote settings, desolate settings with macabre and frightful incidents. భయంకరమైనటువంటి ఒక పురాతనమైనటువంటి సెట్టింగ్స్తో భయము గొలిపే సన్నివేశాలతో కూడిన అలాంటి కథని, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ఎ గోతిక్ నావల్. యూ నో వెరీ వెల్ అబౌట్ దాట్. దట్ ఈస్ Justruzi. Okay, and the poetry collections Queen Mab, okay, Alastair, or The Spirit of Solitude. So these are some of his early works. Okay, keep them in your mind. And you go to the next point. His major poetic works include, and he also composed major poems that brought him name and fame from all over the world. So what are those major works of this great poet? Means Ode to the West Wind. It's a wonderful poem. Through a Skylark, it is also there, and both are generally prescribed for study in BA or MA literature. Prometheus Unbound. So this is also there. Prometheus, and Adonais is there. So these are all the major poetic works of this P.B. Shelley, right? And now let's move on to learn a few more things about this great celebrated poet. These poems are celebrated for their lyrical beauty. So all those poems that I have just now mentioned, not only those poems, other poems are also there. All his poems are celebrated for, that means well known for their lyrical beauty, okay, metrical beauty or sweetness and all that. Imaginative vision. Imaginative means creative, greatness, creative talent and gift and all that. Passionate. Passionate means what? Very ardent, okay, with that means full of intense feelings, okay. Passionate advocacy, strong advocacy. Advocacy means what? Okay, appealing to the people for something is called advocacy. So for what? For social and political reform. And here what happened? Most of his poems appealed to the people for social reform and political reform. So there must be some reform or change in the society or in the politics. So because of the dirty politics, because of the things that are prevailing in the society, okay, so many bad things are happening in the society, okay, so there must be a social reform. That means societal reform must be there, change must be there, and political reform must be there, change must be there. So all his poems appeal for that social and political reform. So this is the very important point about his poems. And you go to the next one. Shelley's poetry often explores themes of love, nature, and political liberty. So his poems deal with the theme of love, the theme of nature, political liberty, political freedom is very important. Okay, so with all these themes, his poems will be ringing. Okay, they will be filled with. Okay, they will deal with these themes. Okay, right. Shelley is considered one of the central figures of the Romantic movement. I have already told you about this Romantic movement, and the Shelley was considered one of the central figures of this great literary movement that flourished in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. Okay, it gave top priority to nature, imagination, individuality, and beauty, and all such things. So this movement is opposite to industrialization that started at that time in England and Europe. So that is there, and he was considered one of the central figures. That means other central figures are also there of this movement. And who are they? William Wordsworth, S.T. Coleridge, and Lord Byron. These are the prominent figures of this great literary period or movement, that is Romantic movement. Okay, and you go to the next point about him. Shelley's ideas and poetry have had a lasting impact. So Shelley's ideas, first point, Shelley's poetry, these two things have shown a kind of lasting means a permanent impact. Impact means influence on whom? On literature, first point, on philosophy and political thoughts. So on these three things, his poetry, his ideas have thrown a lasting impact or influence. So that's the greatness of this P.B. Shelley. And one more last point about this great poet is he died at a very young age of 29. See that? It's a very unfortunate thing. He was a great poet, but died very young, just at the age of 29, that too in a boat accident in 1822. So this is all about this great poet P.B. Shelley. I think you have understood all about this great poet very briefly or in a nutshell. Okay, right. Now let's move on to learn a few more important introductory points about this poem, The Cloud. Okay, right. Key points about the poem. Now I'm going to tell you a few very important things about the poem, right? And The Cloud is one of P.B. Shelley's most celebrated poems. So this Cloud is one of Shelley's most celebrated poems, most well-known poems. Okay, and his another poem was also prescribed for DSC candidates of Telangana, that is Ozymandias. I think that is not in your syllabus. Only this poem is in your syllabus. Okay, so right, and many interesting poems he wrote, that too following all meters very scrupulously, very carefully. That is the greatness of this P.B. Shelley. Written in 1820. Okay, this poem was written in 1820. Another point you have learned from this, and first published in his collection, that is Prometheus Unbound. So Prometheus Unbound, so this was published in this collection, that is Prometheus Unbound. Prometheus Unbound means Prometheus, you know very well. Prometheus means this Prometheus was a titan chained and tortured by Zeus. Okay, that is the spelling of Zeus, for stealing fire from heaven and giving it to the human beings. For stealing fire from heaven and giving it to the human beings. For that what happened? No, this Zeus imprisoned this titan. Again, titan means what? A giant, according to Greek mythology. According to Greek mythology, this Titan is a giant, and this giant, this Titan was imprisoned and tortured by these Jews. Why? For stealing fire from the heaven and giving it to the human beings. That was the crime he committed. And unbound means unchained. So that is the meaning of the title and all that. Okay, leave it. And in this collection, okay, in this collection, this poem was included and published. Okay, that is the point you have learned from this point. And you go to the next point. This lyric poem, it's a beautiful lyric poem, means sweet poem written according to the metrical pattern. Okay, is a vibrant. Okay, vibrant means here, let me say, very lively. Okay, very lively. It's a vibrant. And imaginative. Imaginative means creative. You know that very well. I need not give the meanings for each and everything. Vibrant and imaginative. Depiction. Depiction means description. This lyric poem is a vibrant and imaginative depiction or description of what? The life cycle and journey of a cloud. You know, the life cycle of a cloud, the journey of a cloud. You know, cloud you find in the sky. Okay, you know very well, in Telugu also many poems, many songs were created on that cloud. Oho Meghamala, Neelala Meghamala. So some beautiful song is there. Wonderful. Megha Sandesham. You know, Kalidasa's Megha Sandesham. Gagana Seemala Nelu, O Meghamala. It's a very wonderful song. So many songs are there. I cannot quote all of them. In this poem, it is giving you the description of the cycle and journey of the cloud. Okay, and here it reveals Shelley's fascination with nature. This poem reveals Shelley's fascination, attraction, love with nature and transformation. He also loves transformation. Of what? And interconnectedness of the natural world. So the transformation of the natural world. See, from one form into another form. So this nature will be changing. Wonderful nature. Okay, and interconnectedness, connection, link. So here it reveals, this poem reveals Shelley's fascination with nature, transformation. Okay, his fascination with the transformation, his fascination with connection with what? Natural world. ప్రకృతితో తనకున్న అనుబంధాన్ని తెలియచేసుకుంటున్నాడు through this poem. It reveals Shelley's fascination with nature. Right. And you go to the next point about this poem is composed of 6 stanzas. Oh, it's a very lengthy poem, but I'm venturing to teach all those 6 stanzas. Okay, it's a lengthy poem. That's why now I'm trying to teach this poem at a stretch. But if not possible, I would like to cut this poem into 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. All the poem in one video, and literary devices and exercise in another video. So something I'm planning, take a decision about that. And here this poem is composed of 6 stanzas of varying lengths. Okay, so here there are 6 stanzas in this poem. All stanzas are very lengthy, but their length is varying. It is not fixed. All stanzas do not have the same lines or same length. So one is small, one is bigger, one is long, so something like that. Okay, whatever it is. Written in a combination of anapaestic meter. So all the lines of this poem are written in a combination of anapaestic meter with other metrical patterns. Anapaestic meter means 2 short syllables followed by a long one. Then you can say it is like da, dhum, da, dhum. This is the foot. Da, dhum, da, dhum, da. So this is the pattern. This is the anapaestic meter. It is combined with other metrical patterns, and this poem is beautifully written. And therefore, in this poem, you find 6 long stanzas, very lengthy stanzas. I am going to teach you all those 6 stanzas, reading line by line. That I am going to do. Right. And now let's move on to other important points about the poem. This rhythmic variation Okay, though some anapestic meter plus another meter, so it's irregular. So this rhythmic variation, not all lines are written in anapestic meter, but some changes are there because the poet has mixed anapestic meter with other meters. Therefore, some kind of uneven rhythm will be there. Uneven. Okay, that's why it is called rhythmic variation. Okay, gives the poem a dynamic and flowing quality. It gives a powerful, a very strong, okay, and flowing quality, mirroring the movement of a cloud. So this kind of rhythm creates some kind of effect to the movement of the cloud. The cloud will be moving in the sky. The cloud will be moving from one spot to another spot, from one place to another place. If you look at the sky, you can find pieces of clouds. Okay, they will be going from one place to another plane. We don't know where they are going. Actually, it's all God's creation. It is the creation of God, right? And here, this poem explores the cyclical processes of nature. Cyclical processes means, you know very well what happens. The cloud is there. It is formed through the evaporation, okay, of water from the lakes, seas, oceans, streams and all that. It is formed in that way. Again, it falls on the earth. Again, that water goes into the sky in the form of the cloud. So forming the cloud and falling in the form of rain, again forming the cloud, falling in the form of rain. So what is this? This is a kind of cyclical process. Cyclical process of nature, and depicting how the cloud forms. In this poem you find how the cloud is formed, how the cloud moves, how the cloud brings rain, and how eventually dissipates. It disappears, okay, only to reform again, only to be born again. Okay, right. And this is that point. And you go to the next one. This theme reflects Shelley's belief in the perpetual renewal and transformation of inherent in nature. Okay, and here this theme tells us about the strong belief of Shelley in the perpetual renewal and transformation that takes place in nature. So in nature, this kind of quality is there, inherent quality. What is that? Inherent means inborn quality is there. Nature creates, nature destroys. Again, nature creates, nature destroys. This is a kind of cyclical process. And here, so this is he has strong belief in the perpetual renewal. Perpetual means everlasting, continuous. Okay, it's a renewal. Okay, and say transformation. Transformation. Spring comes. After some time, summer comes. After some time, rainy season comes. After again, winter comes. So these are cyclical changes. Nature is changing. It is not constant. All the time it is not summer, all the time it is not winter, all the time it is not autumn. So it will be changing. That's called transforming. So this is called, so this transformation, the quality of transformation is inborn in nature. Prakritilone ee goppa nature మార్పు చెందడం అనే ప్రక్రియ దానిలో దాగి ఉంది. ప్రకృతి మారుతున్నప్పుడు మనిషి ఎందుకు మారద్దండి? Man should also change. From being a bad man into a good man. From being an unsocial man into a social man. From being a nasty mentality man into a good-minded man. So like that, man should also change. So this is telling you that message, right? And the poem is rich in vivid imagery. You can find rich imagery, beautiful picture, mental images, mental pictures. Okay, and personification. See, personification means attributing human qualities to some lifeless object. So here the cloud is a lifeless object, frankly speaking. But here this cloud, which is a lifeless object, is being personified. It is shown as having life. It is shown as having feelings. It is shown as having some human reactions and emotions and all that. So in that way, this cloud is personified throughout this poem. That point you are going to understand. Present in the cloud as a sentient being. Sentient being means, okay, responsive to emotions. Sentient you can say, sentient also you can say. Sentient means being responsive to emotions. Emotions ku respond avadani, that is called sentient or sentient. So it is described as a sentient being. Ante emotions kaligina oka vyakti laga. This cloud is described or personified in this, and that experience a joy. You see, who can experience a joy? Only the human beings. But here, this cloud is also experiencing some joy. It is also experiencing some pain. It is also experiencing some transformation. And all these things, joy, pain, and transformation, are all the emotions of the human beings. But here, they are attributed to this cloud. So in that way, throughout the poem, the cloud is personified, right? This is all about this poem, very briefly, and these are all introductory points, okay? And now we are going to learn about the poem stanza wise. The full text of the poem, the cloud, okay? Right. So this is the first stanza, and I will read this poem very quickly and give you the line by line meaning, okay? And this is the handsome P.B. Shelley, the great poet, the well-known poet of this English literature, okay? Very handsome, looking very handsome, no? Right. And here, this is that cloud. See how beautiful the cloud is? Okay, right. And now I am going to teach you the meaning of this poem line by line, and I will teach you the meaning in the words of the cloud itself. Okay, right. So here the cloud says, okay, the cloud says, I bring fresh showers for the thirsting flowers from the seas and the streams. Okay, so here I have used this, these two lines I am going to teach you now. So the cloud says, I bring fresh showers. Fresh showers means I bring fresh rains, okay, for the thirsting flowers. Thirsting flowers means flowers that are thirsty, that want water, okay, that need water. So here this cloud brings fresh showers, fresh rains for the thirsting flowers. From where? Where is it bringing water for these flowers? Means from the seas and from the streams. You can easily understand this poem. This cloud brings water from the seas, from the streams, and it gives that water to the thirsting flowers. So that point is clear. And the next point, I bear light shade for the leaves when laid in their noonday dreams. So here another point. So here the cloud says, I provide. What is that? I provide. I provide light shade means shade, you know very well. Shade, nida. So I provide light shade for the leaves when laid in their noonday dreams. That means whenever the leaves are exposed to the hot sun, okay, especially during the midday, okay. During the midday there will be very hot sun, scorching sun will be there. So to protect the leaves from that scorching sun at noon or at midday, okay, it provides light shade for the leaves, okay. From my wings are shaken the dews that waken the sweet birds everyone. So it's at another beautiful line, and here this cloud says, I shake my wings and drop the dews in order to waken the sweet birds or sweet smelling birds. So what does the cloud do? It shakes its wings, and on its wings there are so many drops of water. So those drops of water are called dews. Okay, dews means drops of water, and it shakes its wings and it drops those water dews, and thus it wakes up the sweet smelling buds, okay, and when rocked to rest on their mother's breast. And sweet buds, where are these sweet buds that are rocked to rest, that are put to rest or put to sleep on the mother's breast? On the mother's breast means on the earth, okay. This earth is dancing about the sun. You know very well, this is the earth. What does this earth do? It will move around this, okay, the sun. So this movement is called, it is nothing but rocking the child in the cradle. So here the sweet birds are rocked to sleep or rocked to rest on the mother's breast, by moving around the sun. And here the cloud wants to wake up these sweet smelling birds by shaking its wings and dropping water drops on these sweet birds. So that is what the cloud wants to do, okay. And now I wield the flail of the lashing hail. So here I wield means what? I hold, okay. The flail means it is a kind of device used by the farmers for threshing. How it will be like this. This is this flail. So it is a flail. What happens now after the crop is harvested? So they beat the crop with that flail, and with that what happens? All the grains from the crop will fall down or get separated. For that purpose, the farmers use this flail that is there. So here this cloud says, I hold the flail of the lashing hail. Lashing means hitting violently. Hail means hailstorm. Hailstorm means it's a kind of rain, including what? The small ice balls. So here the rain with small ice balls is called hail or hailstorm. Okay, Vadaganla Varsham. So something like that. So here this cloud says it will hold the flail of the violently hitting storm, okay, hailstorm, and whiten the green plains under. And what does the cloud do? It will whiten all the green pastures on the earth. When there is a hailstorm, what happens now? All the green pastures will be covered with small ice balls or cubes, okay. They are called hails, okay, Vadagallu. So with all those Vadagallu, that the whole green pastures will be covered, and all the green pastures will be turned into white. You know that very well. So I whiten the green plains, green pastures under, and then again I dissolve it in rain. So again, after dropping the hails on the green pastures, వడగండ్లన్నిటి కురిపించిన తర్వాత what does this cloud do? It will dissolve them into rain. ఆ వడగండ్లన్నిటిని వర్షపు నీటి రూపములోకి కరగదీస్తుందట. And here and laugh as I pass in thunder. I feel I am playful as I pass in the sky with the sound of the thunder. పెద్ద ఉరుముల ధ్వనితో నేను ఆకాశంలో ప్రయాణిస్తూ నేను ఎంతటి చిలిపి అయిన దానను, లేకుంటే ఎంతటి ప్లేఫుల్ ఆకతాయి దానను చెప్తూ ఉంది ఇక్కడ. సో దట్ మీన్స్ ద క్లౌడ్ ఫీల్స్ దట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ప్లేఫుల్, because it is lashing the green pastures with hailstorms and covering all the green pastures with hailstorms, and afterward it is dissolving all those ice balls of the hailstorm and again into rain. And so here in this way it is becoming what? Somewhat playful, somewhat mischievous. Enta tuntarido ee megham, enta akataido ee megham. And how? And laugh as I pass in thunder. While passing in the sky with the sound of the thunder, I laugh. I feel I am playful. I am very mischievous. Something like that. So this is the meaning of that. Okay, very simple, I think. And now let's move on to the next stanza. This is the second stanza. Okay, and what is the meaning of this second stanza? Let us see that very quickly. Okay, I sift, okay, the snow on the mountains below. I sift means I scatter. Very simple. I sift. Generally what happens, on the cake, what happens? You sift, ila challadam, challuta in Telugu. Okay, I sift the snow. Oh, the cloud says, The cloud says what? I sift, I scatter the snow on the mountains below. On all the mountains, the cloud will sift or scatter the snow, and their great pines grown aghast. So what happens, when this cloud scatters snow on the mountains, on the earth, what happens? All the great pines that are there on the mountains. So on the mountains, what happens? You can find, okay, there are great pines. So pines means what? Coniferous, evergreen trees are called pines. You know that very well, I need not tell you. So great pines, because they grow very high and very big. Okay, and here great pines are also filled with snow. And when snow falls on the branches of these pines, what happens? Out of great burden, great weight, what happens? They become aghast. Aghast means they become shocked and upset, and they start groaning. మంచు కురియేటప్పుడు ఆ కొమ్మల మీద ఆకుల మీద మంచు విపరీతం కురిసి ఏమవుతుంది? బరువెక్కిపోతే ఆ బరువుకు ఈ చెట్లన్నీ కూడా దే విల్ బి గ్రోనింగ్. దట్ మీన్స్ దే విల్ బి క్రయింగ్ వెరీ పెయిన్ఫుల్లీ. హౌ? ఫీలింగ్ అఘాస్ట్, విభ్రాంతి చెందుతూ, ఫీలింగ్ షాక్డ్ అండ్ అప్సెట్. అలా అవుతూ అవన్నీ బాధపడుతూ ఉంటుంటాట. అండ్ ఆల్ ద నైట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ మై పిల్లో వైట్ వైల్ ఐ స్లీప్ ఇన్ ద ఆర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ ద బ్లాస్ట్. సో హియర్ అండ్ దిస్ క్లౌడ్ సేస్ దట్ ఇట్ విల్ టేక్ రెస్ట్ ఆర్ ఇట్ విల్ స్లీప్ ఆన్ దీస్ మౌంటైన్స్ కవర్డ్ విత్ స్నో ఫర్ దట్ నైట్. అండ్ హౌ? ఇన్ ద ఆర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ ద బ్లాస్ట్. Blast means gusts of wind. Enjoying the gusts of wind. That means the cloud says that it will sleep on these snow-covered mountains, making these mountains as its pillow in the arms of the blast. Sublime on the towers of my sky bowers. This cloud says that it will live in the sky bowers. Sky bowers means small rooms. Sky means small rooms in the sky. Sky bowers means small rooms in the sky. Okay. The cloud says it will live in the small rooms of that means lofty towers. Lofty means very high and grand and great. Lofty. ఎత్తైనటువంటి ఆ భవనాలలోని చిన్న గదులలో, small rooms. And what happened? So the cloud says it will live in the small rooms of the lofty towers. Lightning my pilot sits. Lightning, you know very well. Merupu. So this cloud says it will make this lightning its pilot, and it will sit on this lightning, and it will go anywhere it likes to. It will go anywhere it likes to. It will make the lightning its guide. It's a pilot. Pilot means guide. Okay. In a cavern under is fettered. The thunder is, it struggles and howls at fits. In a cavern means in a small cave. Chinna guhalo. What is that? Is fettered the thunder. The thunder is fettered in a small cave. The cloud has fettered the thunder in a small cave. It indicates that even the thunder is also under its control. Right? And here, and whenever this thunder struggles to free itself, okay, makes a howling sound. At fits means bursting out. Now you see the meaning of this thunder. When it attempts to free itself, it howls, bursting out. Okay, it howls means it makes a terrible sound. అందుకే మనకు థండర్ యొక్క పెద్ద పెద్ద సౌండ్లు వినిపిస్తుంటాయి. ఆ థండరు తనను తాను ఆ చెరలో నుంచి విడిపించుకోవడం కోసము అది పెద్ద పెద్ద ధ్వనులు చేసుకుంటూ తన కోపాన్ని ప్రదర్శిస్తూ ఉంటుంది. బర్స్టింగ్ అవుట్, ఇట్ విల్ బి మేకింగ్ సౌండ్స్, టెర్రిబుల్ సౌండ్స్. Okay, it's like that. So this is about these two lines, and here over earth and ocean with a gentle motion, and here sitting on this lightning, the cloud says it will move all over the earth, all over the ocean with a gentle motion. The pilot is guiding me. So with the help of this pilot, that is the lightning, what happens? The cloud says it will roam about the earth and the ocean with gentle motion, lured by the love of the jenny that move in the depths of the purple sea. The cloud says it was very much lured, attracted by the love of the jenny. Jenny means some kind of spirit of the human being, spirit of a person. Spirits also you can say. Jenny means singular or plural. So Jenny means generally plural. It is used in the plural number. So Jenny means all the spirits of the persons. So they show a lot of love to this cloud, and lured by the love of the Jenny that move in the depths of the purple sea. That means this Jenny will move where? In the depths of the ocean. సముద్ర గర్భాలలో తిరిగేటటువంటి ఆ జెన్నీ యొక్క ప్రేమ చేత నేను ముగ్ధుడనయ్యి. Over the rills means over the streams, okay, over the cracks means over the rocks, over the hills, over the small mountains, over the lakes and the plains, okay. This cloud moves about, moves all over the earth, okay, over the rills, over the cracks, over the hills, over the lakes and over the plains. So it doesn't leave any place unmoved by, okay. It roams about all the world. How? With the help of this Jenny, with the help of this lightning, its guide, okay. And the spirit, wherever he dream under mountain or stream, the spirit he loves remains. So wherever the spirits stop and they want to take rest, there, what does this cloud do? This cloud will rain, okay. Wherever he dreams means wherever that Jenny dreams, means wherever that Jenny stops, whether it is on mountain or on stream, wherever it is, so there the cloud will rain, that is there. And I all the while bask in heaven's blue sky. The cloud says it will bask. It will bask means it will relax in the warmth of the sunlight in the sky. In heaven's blue smile means in the sky. All this gives only one meaning. Whilst he is dissolving in rains. So while the cloud is raining at that spot, it will be basking. It will be relaxing in the warmth of the sun in the sky. That is the way. ఒక దిక్కు వర్షాన్ని కురిపించుకుంటూనే మరో దిక్కు తాను ఆకాశములో ఆ సూర్యుని యొక్క వెచ్చదనములో రిలాక్స్ అవుతూ ఉంటాను, సంథింగ్ లైక్ దట్. సో దిస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ దట్ సెకండ్ స్టాంజా. యు గో టు ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద థర్డ్ స్టాంజా. నౌ సీ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద థర్డ్ స్టాంజా. This is the third stanza. The sanguine sunrise with his meteor eyes and his burning plumes outspread leaps on the back of my sailing rack when the morning star shines dead. So these are the 4 lines, okay. The one idea is expressed in these 4 lines. So that's why I would like to give you the meaning of these 4 lines. The sanguine means actually bloody, or you can also call it red. So the bloody sunrise or the red sun. Sunrise means it's nothing but sun. So the red sun, the meaning is clear. With his meteor eyes, okay. With his means with its eyes, okay, gleaming with, okay, gleaming with what? Bright, with streaks of bright light. Streaks means rays. Streaks of bright light, okay. How do you find the rays of the sun? They are bright. So bright with light. So morning, the rays of the morning sun are very bright with light, okay. That they are bright with light. Just look at the morning sunrise. You can find the rays of the morning sunrise, how very bright. They look very bright with light, okay. They are bright with the light. So here, and his burning plumes outspread. And what does the sun do after rising in the east? It will outspread. Outspread means scatter, okay. Scatter all over the world. Outspread means all over the world. What? All over the world. It will scatter all over the world. What? Burning. Burning means very hot. Plumes means again rays. So here this sun after rising scatters all over the world. It's very hot rays. and leaps on the back of my sailing rack. So here, what else does the sun do? The sun also sits, leaps means sits on the back of this sailing. Sailing means moving, okay, moving cloud. The sun also sits on my moving back. And the sun wants to roam about the world, sitting on the back of me. Sitting on my back, the sun wants to move all over the world, right? And when the morning star shines, so this sunrise, you know very well, it will take place after the morning star shines dead. Shines dead means faints away. So faints away means no, it disappears. Only the morning star disappears when the sun rises in the east. So this is the meaning of this, and here one comparison is given. So the sun sits on the back of the cloud. Okay, how does it sit on the back of the cloud? Means just as on the jog of a mountain crag. So jog means tip, okay, tip or peak, okay, of a mountain rock crag. A mountain crag means mountain rock. So this is a mountain. So they, at the top, you know, there will be another small rock. So here this is a crag. Idanta crag. Oka pedda banda. Banda means oka chinna peak. This is called the peak. Oka chinna gundu or some peak. So here what happens? As on the jog, okay, as on the peak of a mountain crag, which an earthquake rocks and swings, and this small rock can fall down or will be shaken off when an earthquake comes. An eagle alight one moment may sit. So on this top, you know, on this tip, what happens? The eagles will generally sit there. They don't want to sit anywhere. Just they want to sit at the top or at the peak of them some rock. ఒక రాయి యొక్క చిట్ట చివర కూర్చోవడానికి ట్రై చేస్తుంటుంది దట్ ఈగల్. సో ఇట్ సిట్స్ దేర్ ఫర్ ఓన్లీ వన్ మూమెంట్ in the light of the golden wings and stretching its golden wings, okay, in the sunlight. ఆ సూర్యుని యొక్క వెలుగులో తన యొక్క ఏమిటి బంగారు వర్ణము కలిగిన రెక్కలను విదిల్చుకుంటూ వచ్చి కూర్చుంటుంది, వెంటనే వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. సో ఇన్ మచ్ ద సేమ్ వే, అదే విధంగా హియర్ దిస్ సన్ సిట్స్ ఆన్ మై బ్యాక్ అండ్ మూవ్స్ ఆల్ ఓవర్ ద వరల్డ్. ఆ విధంగానే సూర్యుడు నా వెనక కూర్చొని ప్రపంచమంతా పర్యటిస్తాడు. సంథింగ్ లైక్ దిస్. ఆల్ డిస్క్రిప్షన్ ప్లీజ్ లీవ్ ఇట్, ఓకే. అండ్ హియర్ అండ్ వెన్ సన్సెట్ మే బ్రీత్ ఫ్రమ్ ద lit sea beneath, okay, and in the evening there will be the sunset. This is all about the sunrise. This is all about the sunset. And when sunset may breathe from the lit sea beneath. So what is that? After the sun sets in the west, okay, and what does the sun do? The sun breathe the emotions. Orders means emotions of rest and love. So the sun feels the emotion of rest, okay. It wants to take rest. It wants to enjoy the love of nature, okay. The sun in the evening or at sunset wants to take rest, enjoying the love of nature, and the crimson pall of evening may fall from the depth of heaven above. And here in the evening after the sunset you can find the crimson pall. Crimson pall means crimson red curtain will fall down. Red curtain. The red curtain will fall in the evening and from the depth of heaven above. When there is sunset, what happens? From the heaven some kind of red pall, okay. Red pall means red curtain. సాయంకాలం అయినప్పుడు ఆకాశం నుండి ఒక ఎర్రని తెర అలా దిగుతుంది అని చెప్పి సంథింగ్ అంటే ఈవినింగ్ in the sunset you can find that red color only all over the west and all that, you know that very well. This is all description. From the depth of heaven above and with wings folded I rest on mine airy nest. So here what is that? From the when the night falls or when in the evening when evening falls, what does the cloud do? And it folds its wings, okay, and I rest on my airy nest. So the cloud folds its hands, its wings, and it rests in the airy nest, okay. Airy nest means in the sky only the cloud will take its rest, okay, as still as a brooding dove. Just like a brooding dove. A brooding means a pregnant dove. Okay, a dove that is about to give birth to some young ones, so that is called a brooding dove. So that means this brooding dove will not be active and all that. It will be dumb, it will be mum, it will be calm and quiet. That indicates this cloud wants to enjoy the tranquility. Okay, the tranquility, the silence in the evening, in the night. So that's why the cloud wants to take rest in the sky, just like the brooding dove. That means it suggests that it likes the tranquility of the moment. In the evening, you don't find. In the evening means after 6:30, 7 o'clock, you can find darkness. That night falls. So in that night, everything will be silent. There will be no commotion. So in that tranquility of the time, this cloud wants to take full rest. So this is all about this third stanza. And now let's move on to the fourth stanza. Right. Now you see the meaning of this fourth stanza very quickly and very briefly. Here you pay attention. That orbed maiden with white fire laden, whom mortals call the moon, glides glimmering over my fleece-like floor by the midnight breezes strewn. So this is one idea. Yeah? And now I'm going to give you the meaning of these 4 lines. Here you pay attention. The orbed maiden. The orbed means the circular. Orbed means circular. Circular woman. Okay. The circular woman with white fire laden. So what is this circular woman? Laden means loaded. Laden means loaded, okay, or laden with white fire, okay, with white fire. With white fire means with white light. Where can you find the white light? Only in this circular woman, and whom mortals call the moon. And this orbed maiden is none other than the moon itself. Okay. The moon is called the orbed maiden, and this orbed maiden was called by the mortals, by the ancestors, the moon. So here this moon is laden. Laden means loaded with white fire. White fire means white light. Okay. And what does the moon do here? It glides. Glides means moves very softly and very smoothly. Glimmering. Glimmering means shining faintly, or off and on and all that. Shining faintly over my fleece-like floor. On me, it will be moving on my fleece-like. Fleece means, very well, fleece is nothing but a wool. Okay, wool of some wool-giving animal, whatever it is. Fleece-like floor. That means the floor. That means the floor of the cloud. Here, how is the floor of the cloud? It is fleece-like, very soft. Fleece-like means soft, in other words, soft cloud. By the midnight breezes too. That means, this moon will be gliding, glimmering on the soft cloud while the midnight breezes are blowing. So this is the meaning of these 4 lines. Once again, I give you the meaning of these 4 lines. Please listen to it carefully. So here, the orbed maiden, that is circular woman, and this circular woman loaded with white fire. White fire means white light. White means very cool and soft light is called white light. And moonlight is always soft, it's cool also. So it is laden with white cool light, and whom mortals call the moon. So this orbed maiden is none other than the moon. What does the moon do? The moon glides, walks very smoothly, very gently, glimmering over my fleecy like floor. That means the cloud will be moving on the soft cloud through the midnight breezes. That means while the midnight breezes are blowing very softly. And here you see the meaning of the other lines. And wherever the beat of her unseen feet, which only the angels hear, may have broken the oof of my tent's roof. See here, oof, roof. So this is called internal rhyme. Okay. So let us see the meaning of these 4 lines again. So here, wherever the beat of her unseen feet, that means here this moon is, what is it doing? The moon is moving across the sky on the soft floor of the cloud. You know that very well. And even though whenever it is passing across the sky, you can say, if you can find the beat of her unseen feet. because the moon is walking across the sky on the soft floor of the cloud. So even then you can find some kind of beat, okay, sound here. You can find the beat, which the beat of this moon can be heard only by the angels. May have broken the roof of my tent's roof. And here the beat, that means the sound of the feet, okay, may have broken the roof. Roof means cloth, okay, fabric. The cloth of the thin roof. My tent's thin roof. Tent is like this, okay. This is the tent, okay. This is the tent. So here this is the cloth, okay. And here may have broken the beat of her unseen feet. The what is that sound of her unseen feet might break this cloth of the thin roof. There will be some gaps between one meghamu and another megham, isn't it? So therefore, through that is called, there's a kind of a tent. The poet is describing that as a tent. So all that sky is a kind of roof. Between these two pieces you can find some kind of gap. Okay, it's like that. The stars peep behind her and peer. And what happens? The stars will be peeping through that gaps. Okay, through the gaps the stars will be peeping the earth. I laugh to see them whirl and flee. Okay, here I laugh to, because the clouds will be passing. One piece will be passing, one piece, another piece. So these are all passing. So this is a gap. So from these gaps, the stars will be peeping the earth. So when this, when the stars are peeping down the earth, what is that? The cloud will be passing like this. So it will block this, block the view of the stars. So like that, So I laugh to see them whirl and flee like a swarms of golden fleece. So as the clouds are passing very fast in the sky, so wherever there is some gap, the stars can peep through the gaps, and they can see the beauty of the earth. So the stars will be the clouds will be moving very fast, so preventing sometimes the view of the stars, okay, like that. So very quickly they will watch the beauty of the earth and they will disappear, whirl and flee, and like a swarm of golden bees. Millions of stars are there in the Milky Way. Okay, all the stars will be looking at the beauty of the earth through the gaps of the clouds, and suddenly that gap will be covered by another cloud, and therefore they will just look at the beauty of the earth and they will disappear immediately, just like a swarm of golden bees and something like that. Okay, and when I widen the rent in my wind-built tent, okay, rent tent, this is called internal rhyme, hoof, roof. Okay, so when I widen the rent in my wind-built tent till the calm rivers, lakes and seas, like strips of the sky fallen through me on high. So here, when I widen the rent in my wind-built tent, so this is all the sky. The whole sky is just like a tent. So whenever the cloud opens that rent, widens the rent. Rent means chinugu. Rent has another meaning. Rent and kirai. Rent also means a tear, a chinugu. This comes from rending. Cheel chuta nunchi vachindi oka chinugu. So when I widen the rent in my wind-built tent, in the tent of the sky, I widen the rent and allow the stars to watch the beauty of the earth, and till the calm rivers, lakes, seas, the strips of the sky fallen through me on high. So, and therefore we can find what in the calm rivers, calm lakes, calm seas, the resemblance of the stars, the moon and other celestial bodies in the water. You can find in the still water the image of the stars, the image of the celestial bodies. ఆకాశమని నా యొక్క టెంట్ యొక్క ఆ చినుకును పెద్దగా చేసి ఇగో అవన్నీ నిలకడగా ఉన్నటువంటి ద రివర్స్, లేక్స్, సీస్లో అలా కనిపించేటట్టుగా నేను చేస్తాను, సంథింగ్ లైక్ దట్. అండ్ లైక్ స్ట్రిప్స్ ఆఫ్ ద స్కై ఫాలెన్ త్రూ మీ ఆన్ హై ఆర్ ఈచ్ పేవ్డ్ విత్ ద మూన్ అండ్ దస్. Okay. That means you can find the moon in the water, you can find the stars in the water. So in this way, this cloud facilitates the people to see the stars in the still waters. the moon in the still waters. So that is the job this cloud is doing here in these lines. So this is the greatness of this cloud. So this is the meaning of the fourth stanza. Now you move on to the last but one stanza very quickly. This is the fifth stanza. Okay, I'll give you the meaning of the fifth stanza now. I bind the sun's throne with a burning zone and the moons with a girdle of pearl. So this is one idea. So here this cloud says, what does the cloud say? I bind means I surround what? The sun's throne. That means the sun itself. నేను సూర్యుని కట్టివేస్తాను. How? With a burning zone. With a burning zone means with a bright light. With a bright light. Okay? మరి దేదీప్యమైన వెలుగుతో ఆ సూర్యుని నేను బంధించేస్తాను, కట్టివేస్తాను. Bind. And the moons with a girdle of pearl. I can also bind this moon. With what? With a girdle of pearl. Girdle means belt. Belt of pearls. ముత్యాల దండతో నేను ఆ యొక్క మూన్ కూడా బంధించగలను. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ దీస్ టూ లైన్స్. దట్ మీన్స్ దిస్ క్లౌడ్ ఈజ్ కేపబుల్ ఇనఫ్ ఆఫ్ ప్రివెంటింగ్ ఆర్ బ్లాకింగ్ ద సన్ అండ్ ద మూన్. మేఘాలు వచ్చినప్పుడు సూర్యుడి యొక్క కిరణాలు భూమిని చేరవు, కిరణాలు అడ్డుకుంటుంది అంతే. క్లౌడ్స్ ఉన్నప్పుడు మనకు సూర్యుడు కనిపించడు, చంద్రుడు కనిపించడు. బికాస్ ద క్లౌడ్స్ కెన్ బ్లాక్ the sun, the clouds can block the moon. Therefore, if the sky is clouded, okay, you cannot see the sun, you cannot see the moon. Okay, it's not possible. In these two lines, the cloud says it is very powerful, it is very strong, it's very mighty, it can even bind the sun, it can even bind the moon. Binding is nothing but blocking the sun and the moon. సూర్యుని చంద్రుని నేను నా యొక్క మేఘాలతో మరి అడ్డుకోగలను, కట్టివేయగలను. వాట్ ఏ పవర్ దిస్ cloud has. Okay, and here and you see that the volcanoes are dim and the stars reel and swim when the whirlwinds my banner unfurl. So here I am also capable enough of dimming the volcanoes. I can make the volcanoes dim. అగ్ని పర్వతాలను నేను డిమ్గా చేయగలను. Okay, కాంతి విహీనంగా చేయగలను. And the stars reel and swim. And I can allow the stars to move very fast in the sky. ఆకాశంలో తారలు వేగంగా వెళ్ళేటట్టుగా చేయగలను. అవును, మేఘం స్పీడ్గా పోతే స్టార్స్ కూడా వేగంగా పోయినట్టు అనిపిస్తుంటాయి. సో దట్ ద స్టార్స్ రీల్ అండ్ స్విమ్ అండ్ వెన్ ద whirlwinds my banner unfurl. Whenever the whirlwinds means what? The winds twirl and twirl and twirl. That's called whirlwind. సుడిగాలులు. What happens? These whirlwinds make the cloud very thin, like a banner. ఈ సుడిగాలులు ఆ క్లౌడ్ను గట్టిగా తాకినప్పుడు ఆ క్లౌడ్ విచ్చుకుపోయి పల్సబడిపోతుంది. ఇట్ బికమ్స్ థిన్. ద థిక్ క్లౌడ్ బికమ్స్ థిన్ లైక్ ఎ బ్యానర్. బ్యానర్ లాగా, ఒక పల్సని బ్యానర్ లాగా అలా అవుతుందట. సో అలా ఉన్నప్పుడు ఓకే, విత్ దాట్ ఐ కెన్ dim the volcanoes, I can allow the stars to move very fast and all such things the cloud can do. So it says, and then from cape to cape, that means from one edge to another edge. Okay, I span means I can move. I can span means, in other words, I can move from one cape to another cape, from one end to another end of the earth with a bridge-like one, just like the bridge which spans from one edge to another edge. ఒక ఎడ్జ్ నుంచి ఇంకొక ఎడ్జ్కి బ్రిడ్జ్ ఎలాగైతే ఉంటుందో, సో లైక్ దట్ what is a bridge. So it is spanning from this edge to this edge. Okay, just like a bridge, I can span from one place to another place. Okay, over a torrent sea, I can span over a turbulent sea. Torrent means turbulent. Turbulent అంటే అల్లకల్లోలమైనటువంటి సముద్రము. Turbulent. Okay, over a turbulent sea, sunbeam roof. Okay, I hang like a roof, the mountains, its columns be. So here I can span from one end of the turbulent sea to another end. I can make a sunroof for the mountains that support me. నాకు సపోర్ట్ చేస్తున్న మౌంటైన్స్కు నేను ఒక గొడుగులాగా, ఒక సన్ రూఫ్ లాగా నేను ఉండి ఆ యొక్క సూర్యుని అడ్డుకొని నేను దానికి ఒక సన్ రూఫ్ లాగా ఉండగలుగుతాను మౌంటైన్స్కి. సంథింగ్ లైక్ దట్ ఐ కెన్. సో సన్బీమ్ రూఫ్, ఐ హ్యాంగ్ లైక్ ఎ రూఫ్. That means I can act like a sunbeam roof or a roof blocking the sun for the mountains that columns be means that support me. తనను సపోర్ట్ చేసే పర్వతాలకు నేను ఒక సన్ రూఫ్గా మారుతాను, సూర్యుడిని ఆపివేసి. సంథింగ్ లైక్ దట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ సెయింగ్. అండ్ ద ట్రయంఫల్ ఆర్చ్ త్రూ విచ్ ఐ మార్చ్. In the sky what happens now? It will be marching through the triumphal arch, victorious arch. With hurricanes, fire and snow, I can walk in the sky bringing what? Hurricane. Hurricanes means hurricanes, storms. Okay, they are all in the hands of in the control of this cloud. మన ఏషియన్ సైడ్లోనేమో స్టామ్ అంటారు, ఇక్కడ దాన్ని హరికేన్ అంటారు. ద క్లౌడ్ సేస్ ఇట్ కెన్ మార్చ్ త్రూ ద ట్రయంఫల్ ఆర్చ్, బ్రింగింగ్ హరికేన్స్, బ్రింగింగ్ ఫైర్, బ్రింగింగ్ స్నో. హౌ కెన్ దిస్ క్లౌడ్ బ్రింగ్ ఫైర్ మీన్స్ ఇఫ్ దేర్ ఇస్ నో క్లౌడ్ ఎట్ ఆల్ ఇన్ ద స్కై, వాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్? నో, ద సన్ లైట్ విల్ ఫాల్ డైరెక్ట్లీ ఆన్ ద earth, so it will be very hot. The rays of the sun will be very virulent and very serious, and they fall on the earth. It will be like fire. And so that's why the cloud says, I'll be walking through this triumphal arch, this powerful arch, bringing hurricane, fire and snow to the people, when the powers of the air are chained to my chair. And in that way, all the powers of this weather are under my control. Aya, ఈ వాతావరణం యొక్క అధిక శక్తులని నా చేతిలో బందీ అయి ఉన్నవి. దే ఆర్ ఆల్ ఇన్ మై హ్యాండ్ లైక్ దట్. అండ్ ఈస్ ద మిలియన్ కలర్డ్ బో. ఆఫ్టర్ ద రెయిన్స్ ఐ కెన్ ఫార్మ్ ఎ బ్యూటిఫుల్ రెయిన్బో, showing that it is the end of that rain. And the spear fire above its soft colors bow. So here the spear fire means the lightning. So the spear fire will make all the colors of the rainbow more beautiful, more charming and more attractive and all that, while as the moist earth was laughing below. And here the moist earth means the wet earth. That means the earth that has received the rains will feel very happy, and looking at that beautiful rainbow, that earth will be laughing very happily and joyfully and cheerfully and all that. So this is the meaning of this fifth stanza. And now let's move on to the last stanza. Okay, this is the sixth stanza, the last stanza. Okay, and now you see the meaning of this stanza also very quickly and very briefly. And I am the daughter of earth and water. So it's very clear. The cloud declares that it is the daughter of earth and water. Yes, it is born, okay, of this water, and it falls on the water. So here this earth and water, when two things come together, this cloud is formed. You know very well. That's why this cloud says, I am the daughter of this earth and water, and the nursling of the sky. Nursling means suckling. Suckling means a baby, okay. Suckling is also there. Suckling means baby that is sucking the milk of the mother. Talli paalu taagutuna baby ni suckling ani nursling ani antaru. So here this cloud says, I am the nursling of the sky. You know, this cloud is nurtured by the sky, you know very well. The sun evaporates the water into the form of this cloud, and that's why this cloud is a nursling of this sky. This is the meaning of the two lines. So the cloud says it is the daughter of the earth and water, one thing. It is also the nursling of the sky, because the sky has nurtured it, has grown it into the form of a big cloud and all that. I pass through the pores of the ocean and shores. So here the cloud says that it will pass from the oceans to shores. From the oceans. In the oceans, what happens? Depressions will be formed. And now what is happening in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, in various other states? So depressions are formed in the oceans. So these depressions move over the earth and they bring water. Because of the depressions, clouds will burst on the land, okay, and on the shores, and again from the shores the water will go into oceans, and it's a kind of cycle. సముద్రంలో డిప్రెషన్ ఏర్పడ్డప్పుడు అందులో నుంచి వాటర్ అంతా ఎవాపరేట్ అయ్యి మేఘాల రూపంలో మారుతుంది. ఆ మేఘాలు ల్యాండ్ వైపుకి వచ్చి అక్కడ కురుస్తాయి. కురిసిన నీళ్ళు మళ్ళీ ఓషన్లోకి వెళ్తాయి. ఓషన్ నుంచి మళ్ళీ మేఘాలు మళ్ళీ. సో దిస్ అ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ సైకిల్, రైట్? అండ్ హియర్ ఐ చేంజ్ బట్ ఐ కెనాట్ డై. యు నో వెరీ వెల్ ద cloud says I can change from one form into another form. Okay, I can change my shape, but I don't die. I have no death at all. I am permanent. I can bring showers. I can bring ordinary rains. I can bring torrential rains. Okay, farming. I can change my shapes. Drizzling is there, showering is there, pouring is there, torrential rains are there. These are all forms of the rain. Okay, it brings storms, it brings snow, it brings fire, what not. So it has got so many forms, so many shapes, and the cloud says I can change. Okay, I keep on changing, but I don't die. I have no death at all. I am a permanent being, something like that. For after the rain, when with a never a stain, the pavilion of heaven is bare. So here, for after the rain, when with a never a stain, that means after the rain, when there is no stain of that rain, the pavilion of heaven is bare. So, and after all the clouds rain, there will be no trace of the cloud in the sky. మేఘాలన్నీ వర్షించిన తర్వాత ఆకాశంలో మేఘాలు ఎక్కడ ఉంటాయి? సో విత్ నెవర్ ఎ స్టెయిన్, దట్ మీన్స్ దెర్ ఇస్ నో మార్క్ లెఫ్ట్ ఇన్ ద స్కై. దెన్ వాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్? The pavilion of heaven means the sky, it looks bare, clear. Okay, it looks very clear. ఆకాశం అంత స్వచ్ఛంగా నిర్మలంగా అనిపిస్తుంది. మేఘాలు లేని ఆకాశం ఎంత ముద్దుగా ఉంటుందో, you know that very well. And here, and the winds and sunbeams with their convex gleams build up the blue dome of air. So after the rains have fallen, winds will be blowing, the sun will be shedding its beams. So winds and the sunbeams, okay, గాలులు, సూర్య కిరణాలు, what happens? They glow all over the place. ఓకే, దే బ్రైటన్ ద ప్లేస్. అందుకే వర్షం కుట్టిన తర్వాత మరి గాలులు వస్తుంటాయి. అలాగే యూ కెన్ ఫైండ్ ద సన్లైట్ అండ్ ఆల్ దట్ ఏరియా విల్ బి బ్రైట్ విత్ లైట్ అండ్ ఆల్ దట్. ఓకే, అండ్ బిల్డ్ అప్ ద బ్లూ డోమ్ ఎయిర్. అండ్ ఇన్ ద స్కై యూ డోంట్ ఫైండ్ క్లౌడ్స్ ఎట్ ఆల్. ఇట్ లుక్స్ వెరీ క్లియర్, ఎంప్టీ ఆఫ్ క్లౌడ్స్ అండ్ ఆల్ దట్. ఆకాశంలో మేఘాలు లేకుండా ఎంప్టీగా క్లియర్గా ఉంటుంది. అండ్ హియర్ ఐ సైలెంట్లీ లాఫ్ ఎట్ మై ఓన్ సెనట్ ఆఫ్. So here this cloud says I laugh loudly at my cenotaph. Cenotaph means what? Tomb. Tomb means, in other words, disappearance. వర్షించిన తర్వాత నేను అక్కడ నుంచి అదృశ్యమైపోతాను అంటే నన్ను సమాధి అన్నట్టు ఒక విధంగా చెప్పాలని. ఇట్స్ ఎ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ టూంబ్ ఫర్ దిస్ క్లౌడ్. కాబట్టి అక్కడ అంతవరకు ఉండి ఆ క్లౌడ్ అంతా కురిసిన తర్వాత ఇక క్లౌడ్ ఎక్కడ ఉంటుంది? ఉండదు కదా. So what happens now? I laugh at my disappearance. I laugh at my cenotaph. నా సమాధిని చూసి, నా డిసపియరెన్స్ని చూసి నేను నవ్వుకుంటాను. అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ద caverns of rain, like a child from the womb, like a ghost from the, again from the caverns of rain. From the caverns means from the dens, from the caves of rain. మళ్ళీ ఆ వర్షపు గుహలలో నుంచి, సంథింగ్ లైక్ దట్, ఇట్స్ ఆల్ డిస్క్రిప్షన్. లైక్ ఏ చైల్డ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద womb, and like a child that comes out from the womb of a mom. Okay, like a ghost that comes from a tomb. So womb, tomb. So like a ghost from the tomb. సమాధిలో నుంచి వచ్చినటువంటి ఒక దయ్యములాగా, ఒక దురాత్మలాగా, తల్లి గర్భములో నుంచి వచ్చిన చిన్న బిడ్డలాగా నేను మళ్ళీ ఆ యొక్క వర్షపు గుహలలో నుంచి నేను బయటికి వస్తాను. అరైజ్ అండ్ అన్బిల్డ్ ఇట్ అగైన్. And I arise and I again build myself into a big cloud. నేను మళ్ళీ లేస్తాను. I build myself into a big cloud in the sky. That means I am perpetual. I am permanent. I have no death. All weather is under my control. I can bring rains, I can bring fire, I can bring hurricanes, I can bring storms, what not. Everything is under my control. Even the lightning is my guide. Even the thunder is under my control. All the weather is under my control. Okay, so I'm in that way. I'm very powerful. I'm very strong. So that is what the cloud tells us in these 6 stanzas. It's really a very great imaginative poem. గొప్ప ఊహాత్మకమైనటువంటి. So like that, Kalidas also wrote మేఘ సందేశం. ఆ మేఘం ద్వారా సందేశం పంపడం. So there are so many Telugu songs also. Just now at the beginning I said, గగన సీమల నేలు ఓ మేఘమాల. ఎంత మధురమైన పాటను దాంట్లో. దట్ ఇన్ దట్ సాంగ్ that cloud is described like anything. So many songs are there on Megham, so you can listen to them. And here this is the meaning of these 6 stanzas. I could give the meaning of these 6 stanzas very briefly, and really it's a cumbersome task. 5-6 స్టాంజాల మీనింగ్ చెప్పడం కష్టమైన పని. It takes a lot of time. So that's why I have divided this video into 2 parts. All the poem in one video and all the literary devices and exercise in another video. And first I upload this video and later on I upload that second video. Thank you so much for watching this video. With this video comes to an end. Hello dear DSC candidates. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any problem in understanding any point in the explanation of the poem, you please mention it in the comment section. I have tried my best to explain the poem to you. Sometimes, most of the time, I have given you the meaning in Telugu. So for your convenience, if you have still any problem, please bring it to my notice and mention it in the comment section. With the second part of this video, I shall be back to you. Until then, bye. See you, all of you. Right.